go two blocks that way and tell me where they at.
You can read. You can go to class. You can make good grades. I'm hoping that you're making straight A's. How is America stopping you from doing that? And how is it stopping you from being prosperous enough to go down the street and make a difference in your own community? How is America stopping you from doing that?
Why is it my responsibility to make a difference in my community that was sabotaged from the start?
Let's go back to the foundation.
Do you think the CIA planted drugs in our communities?
They didn't make you sell it.
Do you think they?
No. I agree.
Do you think they burned down
stories of how
black
the CIA,
businesses? Do you know what Black Hollywood is?
Let's go one at a time. I've heard stories that the CIA planted drugs in the inner city communities. Not every black community, but in some. They still don't make you go and sell drugs to your brother. Do they?
Welcome back, Warriors. It's me, Linda B. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. Today, I wanted to share with you a video that I saw with Officer Brandon Tatum dismantling a woke black victimhood mentality college student. Before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Watch the video to the end. So one thing I noticed about Democrats is that they play the victim card. You know, they play woe is me. I was born black. I can't get ahead. I got to work 10 times harder. And that is what they push. Remember Jim Crow Joe? He was at a college commencement ceremony and he was stating that you got to, basically your country hates you and that you have to work 10 times harder. That's what they push. Okay. Obama did the same thing recently when he went to speak to a group of Pennsylvania black male voters, saying that she had to, talking about Kamala Harris, had to work harder. You must know what it's like. They push the victimhood thing. They push the race card thing. They really are very divisive in their messaging. And they, you know, it's gotten into college students particularly because, you know, the Democrats are over the school system all the way up to the college level. But let's take a look at this, you guys. Tell me what you think.
I noticed you have the, unless I read wrong, you have the Make America Great Again.
Yeah, I do.
I want you to tell me exactly the point in history where America was great.
You know, it's funny. Point to me a time in history where America wasn't great. Tell me where
the
it started.
Birth of America.
Point in America where America wasn't great.
On murder and thievery and deception. What do you mean?
Now let me explain this to you real quick. This is for everybody to listen to. Everybody always have this perception that we shouldn't acknowledge America as being great. America started at a certain point and grew and came better over time. No country that you know of was 100% perfect at the foundation. No country. No country in the world. No countries in Africa, no countries in Europe. You can name it. Everybody started at a certain point and it became greater over time.
So he's explaining that every country, Brandon Tatum, the one to the left of the screen, is explaining that all countries has started at a certain point and became better over time. No country started off perfect. We evolve and get better over time. And this young man is basically saying that when was America great? It was never great. It was started on deception and thievery. Now, I can agree with both of them, actually. I know that's shocking, right? Because it depends on what you're looking at. Because remember, I've always told you guys that the Democrat Party is the party of slavery. They're the party of the Klan and Jim Crow. So part of our government, part of our, I won't say government, that's the wrong word. Part of our history is with one group for slavery and the other group against slavery. Okay, you've always had these opposing views and they're still opposing to this point right now. They're still opposing to this day. We still have the Democrats and Republicans like this. And I'm talking about the MAGA Republicans are the ones that are the good guys, in my personal opinion. We're allowed to have opinions. And the Democrats and the rhinos are over here trying to get us back to this slave mentality. You do what we tell you to do, pouring things in neighborhoods that hurt us and all of that. But at the same time, we still have a choice to make. No one is making us do the bad thing. They put it before you, but they can't make you do it. So we got to take responsibility for our own lives.
Ever since you've been alive, America has been the greatest it's ever been.
You think so?
100%, brother. You can name somewhere else that's better than America. And why don't you live there?
I'm not sure.
I know you're not sure because they don't exist. Show me somewhere else that's as diverse as America. Anywhere.
As diverse?
That's as diverse.
What does diversity mean if
opportunities
people are being
for
discriminated
all
against?
people? Show me another country that give opportunities for all people like America.
Do you
does.
think we have the same opportunity as everybody else, as black people?
Yeah, 100%.
With a 200-year economic head start on us and no
What's stopping
reparations?
you now? Aren't you at this university?
Yeah.
You're at the university just like all these white people. How's that any different? Can't you?
I want you to go 2 blocks that way and tell me where they at.
You can read. You can go to class. You can make good grades. I'm hoping that you're making straight A's. How is America stopping you from doing that? And how is it stopping you from being prosperous enough to go down the street and make a difference in your own community? How is America stopping you from doing that?
Why is it my responsibility to make a difference in my community that was sabotaged from the start?
I don't think. Let's go back to the foundation.
Do you think the CIA planted drugs in our communities?
They didn't make you sell it.
Do you think they?
No. I agree.
Do you think they burned down
stories of how
black
the CIA,
businesses? Do you know what Black Hollywood is?
Let's go one at a time. I've heard stories that the CIA planted drugs in the inner city communities. Not every black community, but in some. They still don't make you go and sell drugs to your brother, do they? Why are you not selling drugs right now? Because it doesn't make sense for you to do that. You have an opportunity to go to a university, get an education, and make yourself better and make your family better in the next few generations. Nobody's stopping us from doing that. I'm sitting on campus right now, and all these people are listening to me.
You know what's
stopping me?
Money.
In America, what's stopping you from making money in America?
What the is not stopping us from making money?
You go to the same university as all these white people. How you got a different?
Exactly.
You said what? Excuse me?
We're in debt.
That's
our
your
fault. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, right?
Okay.
We were never given boots to begin with.
Let's start.
Now, this is the thing that I don't like. This young man to the right of the screen with his Bone Thugs and Harmony shirt on is saying, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, right? But we weren't even given bootstraps to begin with. He said we were not given bootstraps. Still the victim mentality, because you're expecting someone else to give you something. We got to work for what we get, and we can do it. No amount. America is not that terrible of a country. They trying to make it now. These Democrats trying to make it bad. But for right now, this is the best country that we can live in for right now. And I put emphasis for right now. I put emphasis on that. But at the same time, I remember Martin Luther King Jr. You guys know MLK, and I used to admire him and his memory, his legacy. But the more I learned about him, it was not a good legacy because he promoted that victimhood mentality. He even had a little snippet of a speech where he said, how can you expect a man to pull himself up by his bootstraps if he doesn't even have boots?
And when white Americans tell the Negro to lift himself by his own bootstraps, they don't look over the legacy of slavery and segregation. I believe we ought to do all we can and seek to lift ourselves by our own bootstraps. But it's a cruel jest to say to a bootless man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And many Negroes, by the thousands and millions, have been left bootless as a result of all of these years of oppression. And
so it's like somebody got to give me boots. Somebody has to give me boots. And the story that Vince Everett Ellison talks about, where Martin Luther King Jr. went into an inn and he demanded of the white innkeeper that did not want him to stay there, I want you to, he said, I demand my dignity. I want you to give me my dignity. It's like a mentality that the white person has to give the black person something. It's like we're waiting for them to, like this, with hands out for handouts. Don't look for anybody to give. Everybody, God, we have inalienable rights given by God, not another person. We have God-given rights. That victimhood ends here. I don't play that. We can be anything we want to be. You got God on your side and you work hard enough. You can be anything you want to be. You can't blame white people. You can't blame anybody but yourself. Look in the mirror. You make the right decisions and you make the right choices. That is what it comes to, right choices. And it comes from right thinking. Don't fall into that trap of, I got to get my welfare check. I'm waiting on my check, waiting on for somebody to give you something. That is the Democrat. That's what we mean when we say, what conservatives say, Democrat plantation. That is exactly what we mean, because you're waiting for the government to give you something.
With this, I actually went and graduated from a university. So I'm not a guy that didn't go to college. I had a full scholarship, so I didn't pay for school in my undergrad. Graduate school, I paid for out of my pocket. I did not get a loan. I mean, I did not have to get loan forgiveness or nothing like that. I had $11,000 worth of debt and I paid it. How is that different than anybody else out here?
Because everybody doesn't have the same opportunity.
I'm black though. How did I pay my loan off and you can't? Or
where you from?
Wait, I'm from Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, Dunbar High School.
Fort Worth,
right
Texas.
In the hood and stop 6. Right in the hood and stop 6. How did I get to this point if America's against me?
Did everybody in your neighborhood get to that point?
Well, different choices. There's a lot of people in my neighborhood that made it out because they made better choices. I could have sold drugs. I didn't. Why? Because I wanted something better out of my life.
What do you say about the disproportionate wealth? Is that okay? Does that not matter?
It's about culture. How much money do you save?
I don't know. I'm in debt, bro.
You in debt. How much do you invest?
I don't know.
How did you get into debt? Who chose to come here?
Me.
But that's you laid it out. Now, when you come here, for every college student here, this should be an investment into your future.
Right.
Anybody that know anything about making money knows that you have to invest to get to the next step. You may be in debt. You may be in debt to make an investment to get to the next step. So if you do this properly, this is a debt investment to make more money in the future. If you come here and clown around and take a major that won't put you anywhere, then you just got into debt for no doggone reason. It's a cultural thing. Black people in America don't have wealth like others because they choose not to generate wealth through investments and passing their money down.
Who's teaching us to do this?
We should teach each other to do it. Why does somebody got to teach? You want the white man to teach us? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, hell, teach us something.
Okay, no, you could teach something. You got a college, you can get in a college education. When you have children, teach your children.
So basically help yourselves. We know you have this 200-year head start.
That doesn't matter, bro. You don't have nothing to do with you don't have nothing to do with that.
Oh.
You don't have nothing to do with that.
I thought you said one at a time.
You don't have nothing to do with that.
I don't have nothing to do with what?
The 200 years that you're talking about.
Yes, I do. Have you ever heard of generational trauma, generational wealth? My people don't own anything.
Where you come from?
How can you build something when my people come from nothing? I come from South Memphis.
And I come from Stop 6.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I went to university.
What does comparison mean? What does comparison mean when the statistics say that we are behind?
We are not behind. Some people are behind. We're not behind. Why? Because we make positive decisions. He's not behind. He's not behind. She's not behind. Do I want to go point out
on a college campus?
But does college guarantee a success?
You're on a college campus.
It depends on what you do with what you have presented to you. You were born in wherever you were born at. Look at you now. What's the difference between you and other people that didn't choose?
Opportunity.
How did you get an opportunity that other people didn't? You were in debt, so you didn't have the money. You didn't have the money to pay for it.
My parents didn't have much, but they had enough to keep me out the hood trying to make some money any way I can. I know people who have no anything. They have to go out there. They have no other choice. They have a horrible education. Do you know what the education system is like here? It's horrible.
Okay, so let's explain it like this. I want to make sure we talking at the same level.
All right.
So in America, every single person has an opportunity to do something with what they have in their hand.
And we have nothing in our hands. That's the point.
Let me say this. I believe wholeheartedly that God gives you a hand of cards to play. Hear me out. Hear me out. God gives you a hand of cards to play. Not everybody's hand is the same. What you can have a full deck of great cards and you play them poorly, you won't make it in life. You can have a bad hand. You play them strategically and you play them right, you'll do good in life. You had a not so good hand growing up where you grew up at. You made positive decisions that led you here. That's the hand you've been dealt. Everybody don't have a freaking silver spoon in their mouth. America is the only place.
They proportionately.
Who is they?
Everybody else, man.
Everybody else like who? Are you saying white people? Brother, you in the same situation as all these white people and you playing the victim.
Am I?
You at the same university?
Am I? What does the same university have to do with anything?
You go to the same classes?
I had a 4.3 GPA in high school. I did what I was supposed to hit. I did what I was supposed to do.
What's your GPA now?
3.6.
Brother, what's holding you back then?
That's the point. Everybody doesn't have a 3.6. Everybody is
you just get a 3.6 because you woke up one day? You studied, didn't you?
Right. No, I actually didn't.
You didn't study.
No.
So then you have a gift that you can go and make a 3-point something and don't even study.
Right.
Brother, I mean, I don't know. I think we're wasting our time talking to each other. The bottom line is that if you study, you work hard, you play the cards that you're dealt properly, you will be successful.
Work hard, study hard, make wise decisions. Don't say, I'm black, I can't make it. Why are we at the bottom of everything? Change it. Do something about it. Make proper decisions. Stop having babies out of wedlock. Graduate high school. Get a trade or go to college and work hard. Don't sell drugs. Don't do those things. Don't just lay down and have sex out willy-nilly. And then you pop up pregnant like, ooh, surprise. I had unprotected sex and I'm pregnant. Of course you're going to end up pregnant. Okay? We got to make better decisions. Better decisions. Stop blaming white people. Stop blaming anybody. We are the reason for where we are in life. We have to make better decisions. Make decisions, okay, that are right. And a young man brought up the fact that Black people don't own anything. Some of us do, so it's not totally true, but proportionately, no, we don't. But I remember this place called Black Wall Street in the 1920s that was bombed and burned down by racist Democrats. Yeah, and we had over 600 businesses. This was outside of a suburb outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we had barbershops, schools, all kind of post offices. A couple of Black men owned airplanes. We had every business that you can think of, every imaginable business that you can think of, and it was Black and Native American owned. And we were self-sufficient. And the evil powers that be, the racist part of America, whatever you can say, bombed it and destroyed it. But not all white people are like that now. Okay. But there were some back then, the Democrats, that were doing stuff like that. The Klan came in, which is organized by the Democrats. So we got to know our history and know the correct history. Now, I don't know what they're teaching kids in public school system right now. They're not teaching them properly, probably because Democrats are not for school choice. Therefore, the indoctrination, therefore, an alternative history, and therefore, they are trying to get people to think a certain way and accept this victimhood. That, oh, you Black, you can't, you're gonna have a hard time, you got to work harder, you Black, and it's gonna be harder for you. And then we take that on. BS. I'm not taking that on. I can do anything God equips me to be able to do. Anybody can. Everybody can. Okay, we are one people, one group of people. We need to look at each other as Americans and not separate each other by skin color anyway. But that's what I think. That's, and I think that these college students are getting indoctrinated anyway. He's a college student. They're being indoctrinated. That's the problem. And that's a major problem, because they're teaching them, we want you to think like this and, vote like this and all of that. So that's what's happening right now. That's Officer Tatum. You guys, I have the full link to the video in the description below. And you guys, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. I am on my way to 100,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. The views are ticking up. I appreciate all your support. You can also catch me on Rumble, ChatWithMeLindaB, but type it in as one word. I'm also on X, Instagram, and TikTok as ChatWithMeLindaB. Also, in the future, I will be on Locals as well. You guys, check me out on Locals, and you can email me at chatwithmelindaB@gmail.com. Be blessed. Love God, your families, these United States of America. And as I always say, march on, warriors.